Welcome to InfosecTrain, everyone. Today, we are digging into a case study that really sent shockwaves to the tech world recently, the Tata Electronics cyber incident. It involves some of the biggest names on the planet, like Apple and Tesla, and a major security breakdown in the supply chain. Joining me is our resident security analyst, Mr. Sayam Negi. Hi, Sayam.
Hi, Devyani.
So let's jump right in. How did this even start?
Yeah, okay. To understand this, you have to look, at the group behind it. World Leaks, the one. They are actually a rebrand of a group called Hunters International. But here's the kicker: they did not use traditional ransomware. They did not lock up Tata's computers or demand any money or ransom to get the files back. They used a pure data extortion model. Basically, when we talk about this, they just stole the data, about 630 gigabytes of it, and threatened to leak it if they were not paid.
630 gigabytes, that's a massive amount of information. So, how did they actually get into the network?
See, while the exact smoking gun has not been confirmed by Tata, the analysts are pointing toward up two likely culprits for the same. Like either it could be a very targeted spear phishing campaign against the employees or the exploitation of any unpatched vulnerabilities in their corporate VPN or in the firewalls. So once they were in, they did not just grab and run. They used living of the land techniques, meaning they used Tata's own administrative tools to move around undetected for weeks over there. So they mapped out the whole network, found the high value targets like SAP databases and Outlook email gateways, and then slowly moved all the data out from there.
So, they were just sitting there quietly reading emails and copying blueprints. That's very terrifying. So, how was this finally caught, and what did they actually do to stop it?
It became public knowledge on June 10, 2026, if I'm not wrong on that. And when the data started, appearing on the dark web, but internally, Tata Security actually spotted something was wrong a few weeks before that. And as soon as they realized that that was, what was happening over there, they activated their incident response protocols and isolated that affected network and those nodes to cut off the attacker from it.
Okay, so did the factory have to shut down? Like, I can imagine it's a nightmare if an Apple supplier have to stop their production.
Surprisingly, no, because the attackers were only interested in stealing the data from the corporate site, and they did not encrypt or log anything. The manufacturing lines, they stayed 100% functional. The physical assembly of iPhones and Tesla's parts never stopped. However, I would say Apple was concerned enough that they reportedly started their own isolated forensic analysis to figure out exactly how their proprietary designs, like the specs for the iPhone 18 Pro, ended up in the wrong hands. But everything was functional.
It sounds like a lesson learned moment for everyone. So, if manufacturer like Tata, what do you do to make sure this doesn't happen again?
The experts, if I talk about, they have laid out a pretty clear roadmap. Like immediately, you have got to do an enterprise-wide credential reset, change every single password, and patch every single edge device like firewalls, right? But for the long term, if we talk about, they are recommending something like zero trust client enclaves. Basically, you should not keep Apple's or Tesla's secret blueprints on a general corporate file share where any employee can see them. They should be in a siloed, highly encrypted vaults. They also suggest like micro segmentation should be done, which means we need to build digital walls between the corporate IT departments or IT side where people check email, and it should be separate from the manufacturing OT side where the we can say robots are created or robots are. So a breach in one cannot reach the other one. So that's why like we go to micro segmentation. If an attack happened in this area, it will be limited to this. It cannot go to another one. So in this way we can protect.
So basically, it's like keep the secrets in a separate digital safe
Yeah.
and make sure the office network and the factory floor aren't talking more than they need to.
Correct, exactly. So in today's world, you're not just protecting your own data, are the guardian of your customers' most valuable secrets. So if the supply chain is the weak link, that's where the hackers will definitely strike.
That's powerful stuff, Sayam. So thanks for breaking this down for us.
Anytime.
Thank you for your time and stay tuned with InfosecTrain for more such videos.